morning sun peeks over the mountains, and all the rhinos rub their eyes when they hear the jungle rhythm. Those birds are tap, tap, tapping the tree trunks. The busy bee hums as he flies loud and clear to the jungle rhythm. Now you can hightail it out of the jungle, but it never leaves your heart. First you feel that beat start bubbling under, then you hear the tom-toms loud as thunder. It's moving me, sounds a lot like being free when you feel the jungle rhythm. Feel the jungle rhythm. Feel the jungle rhythm. Feel the jungle rhythm. Feel the jungle rhythm.
Hey y'all, welcome to the jungle. Today I'm going to be showing you some things I'll be pruning and harvesting. Shout out to Meredith Snitzius. Forgive me, Meredith, if I mispronounced your last name. That's a hard one. But Meredith had asked me to do a couple of harvest videos, so here I am, about ready to harvest. But I thought just instead of just showing you harvest, I'd show you some other things that I like to do when I'm out here. Now, most of the time I prune after we have sprayed Actinovate, but that's just, you know, we only spray that for fungus once a week. I like to prune then because I don't have to sterilize my hands or my pruners. But honestly, there's a lot of times you have to get out here and prune when you see an issue. So the two things that I always do, number one, prune in the morning, but also do not prune when the leaves are wet. You need to wait until they're dry, because if they're wet, you could spread diseases from plant to plant to plant to plant. Number two, have something to sterilize your hands and whatever you're using to prune with. This little thing is half and half alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and water. You could also use Clorox and water. It's like a 1 part Clorox and 3 parts water ratio. I kind of prefer the alcohol to the Clorox, but whatever floats your boat. Now remember, you need to sterilize between cuts. So that means it's going to take a whole lot longer. So I'm sterilizing my hands and my scissors. Now, the first thing I'm going to do are prune things that are overgrown, like this catmint, although it's nice to let it flower, but it's a little bit too big and I want it to take it down a little bit. And this will be great food for my chickens. So I'm going to cut it down by about half. Just need to make it more manageable and see what I got, because we definitely have a jungle going on. Now, I'm not sterilizing between cuts on these because it's going to the chickens. I'm not really worried about it. Okay, harvesting. Everything on here, with the exception, all the peppers anyway, with the exception of this one, this is the roasted red. So I will leave it, even though it's a good sized pepper, I will leave it to turn that red color. And I'm gonna go ahead and get some of these jalapenos that are a good size, because I like to ferment them, slice them up, leave the seeds in them, ferment them, and they are excellent. In fact, I did a video, I think, on that. If I did, I'll leave it in the link. If not, it might have been pickles. Well, if not, I'll show you fermenting jalapenos. These jalapenos are a good size, so they actually could be stuffed. This basil here has gotten really big, And I mean, I can come out and get basil anytime I want, but I'm just cutting it short. It'll grow again. Chickens love this, and it's good for them. Ooh, I spied Japanese beetle. I really don't want to pick it up with my hands. See if I can get him without him flying away. Oh, dadgummit. Oh well. These are the giant Marconis, but they get a lot bigger than this, so I will leave them. Oops, some more basil to cut. This is what it's like to weed in the RGGS. These will be great to ferment along with the jalapenos, but they're also really good roasted. I spy with my little eye. Bell peppers. Nice one. That one's a little small. And that one's a little small. This row is butternut squash and pink eye purple hulls. And the squash is just going nuts. So I've got to get some of this back up on the trellis because it's reaching out and grabbing. I wanted to show you something though. Butternut. Butternut, butternut. But look at this butternut. I have two different kinds. Look how differently it grows than the other one grows. Isn't that cool? So here's this kind. And that's the Waltham, what we're used to seeing. Now, I've shown this before on a cucumber plant, but this is one of the butternuts that did not get pollinated. And that happens sometimes. Oh my goodness. Huh. It was laying on the ground. I don't know if you can see that, but it was starting to try to root to the ground. Maybe I'll take that off. Careful. Here's some of my purple hull peas. Need to get them up on there. Cucumbers and black-eyed peas on this row. And oops, let a couple get way too big. Too big. Going to the chickens. This size is good. These are the Boston picklers. And they grow fast. I did it again. Tell you what, cucumbers, you got to get out here every single day. They grow so fast. This is the area, tomatoes and squash, that start looking like a jungle. These are all tomatoes and a couple of peppers. And I've already gone through and pruned. That's a separate bucket. Chickens should not eat nightshade leaves. They can eat the fruit. But Cherokee purples, they're not ready yet. There are a ton of them, and little ones starting. A cluster. These are the Parks Whoppers, and I have already trimmed my tomato plants. Anything below the first set of fruit you can remove. Just a ton of them. These were the first ones to ripen. Actually, our pump man came over to do some service, and he asked for some tomatoes. So he asked for some green tomatoes. Gave him 4 green tomatoes and 1 red one, and we've already picked 1 red one. That one's not far from ready. And that's an example of blossom end rot. So it's coming off. And this row. These are pink brandywines. Can't wait for them to turn red. And the squash, which again, I've let a few squash get too big. This one down here I'll probably need to give to the chickens. Oh, well, it's not too bad. It's pretty big, though. Another one behind it. A little hard to get to. But there's one in here I especially want to get because it is my favorite. There it is. The flying saucer. It's actually Benning's green tent scallop. But most everybody calls it patty pan. Alright, I gotta get my scissors for this one. These aren't really red enough yet. Oh, big one. Another one for the chickens. Rattlesnake pole beans. God, that a big cucumber. Isn't it? Really crazy. That's what happens when they're not completely pollinated. They do kind of a weird thing. Let that one get too big. These rattlesnake pole beans, you can cook them just like a regular green bean, or you can also leave them on the vine, let them dry, and cook them like a red bean. It's like playing hide and seek. Takes Randy to reach those up there. Striker beans here. I've already harvested them. Got some eggplant. And this back here is another patty pan that I had seed started. Actually, it's a couple of them in a 20-gallon grow bag. And Looking for you. Let's see, let me point. Oh. There you are. Potato bag. It's pretty much done for now. So we'll be taking it up, keeping it dry for another week or so, and then I'll probably do a harvest video with the potatoes I've already harvested and filmed. In this back row are Hell's Best, cantaloupe, and pink eye purple hulls. And we have some melons growing. All right, girlies. There's your harvest. Ooh, that basil smells good. There you go, girlies. You're welcome. I love her with the feathered feet.
I think that might be a him.
Oh, that's right. That's the one that is a him. We mistook him for her. But he did crow the other morning. Not a bad little harvest for this morning. You always want to harvest in the morning because overnight the plants regain their moisture. So early morning, the vegetables, if harvested then, are going to be the sweetest, crispest, juiciest. Bye. Y'all have a good one.
Away.